Let me tell you what's brewing right now in Cleveland. And honestly, it feels like the start of one of the wildest quarterback sagas we've ever seen with this franchise. I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. I believe Shedeur Sanders is going to play more games than any quarterback on this Browns roster this year. And I don't just mean down the line, I mean sooner than people expect. Picture this. The Browns stumble out the gate, maybe 0-4, maybe 1-3. You know how this town reacts when things go sideways. The pressure doesn't just build, it explodes. And right in the middle of it all, you've got Jimmy Haslam, the owner himself, storming in saying, "I want Shedeur on that field. I don't care what the coaches are saying." Now the staff might try to hold him off, say, "Hey, we're overseas, we're in London, let's not throw the rookie into that mess. Just give us one more week." But here's what happens. The clock's ticking, the patience is running out, and when Joe Flacco drops another game, that's when everything changes. I'm telling you right now, circle October 12th. That could be the day Shedeur Sanders takes his first start in the NFL. And here's the thing. This isn't just speculation. Reports are swirling. Sources close to the team are flat out saying that Browns ownership wants Shedeur as the guy. According to Colin Cowherd, Shedeur hasn't just shown flashes, he's become the front-runner for QB1. And when the owner is this invested, history tells us one thing. They're going to get their way. Think about it. Haslam has done this before. Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, even Johnny Manziel. Every single time the ownership has stepped in and said, "This is our quarterback." Like it or not, that's the way it works in Cleveland. And now, Shedeur is the headline. Dillon Gabriel, he's not moving the needle. But Shedeur, he's the story everyone's talking about. But let's back up a second. Because this whole situation started in chaos. The Browns never even planned to draft two quarterbacks. They thought Gabriel would be their project. But when Shedeur fell to the 5th round, a guy they never thought would still be there, they couldn't resist. Andrew Berry said it himself. Shedeur wasn't brought here to hold a clipboard. He was brought here to compete. And compete is exactly what he's done. From OTAs to minicamp, the kid has been dialed in. Calm in the huddle, accurate under pressure, composed when the moment gets tight. He doesn't look like a late-round rookie. He looks like a guy ready to make his mark. Normally, a 5th-round QB is a long-term project. A guy you stash and hope he pans out. But Shedeur? He's rewriting that script. He's making it clear he didn't come here to sit. He came here to take over. And let's not forget the outside noise, because oh boy, the Giants just poured gasoline on this fire. Remember draft night? When the rumors hit that Shedeur bombed an interview with New York? Well, now it's leaked that they've got a tape. But instead of showing the whole thing, they clipped it, teased it, and then locked the rest away like it's some classified document. Fans aren't buying it. The smear job looks obvious. And here's the irony. Instead of burying Shedeur's reputation, the Giants accidentally turned him into the biggest headline in football. They wanted people to question him. Instead, they've made him look like the underdog fighting against the system. They've made him more popular than ever. Every fan in Cleveland now feels like they're rallying behind a quarterback who's been doubted, criticized, and dragged through the mud. And that makes the story even stronger. And let me tell you about that private workout in Miami. This wasn't some puff piece or social media stunt. This was the real deal. 15 NFL scouts, execs, and former coaches, stone-faced, clipboards in hand, looking for any weakness they could find. And what does Shedeur do? He walks onto that field with zero fear and puts on a clinic. Precision. Throws, perfect timing, calm under a simulated 2-minute drill with real NFL defenders. One scout literally dropped his clipboard. That's how sharp he looked. This is what people are missing. The same confidence they call arrogance is the exact thing that lets him thrive under pressure. He's not rattled. He's not fazed. Every time they try to knock him down, he responds by raising his game even higher. So here we are. The Browns coaching staff hesitating, The ownership pushing, the fan base rallying, and Shedeur Sanders proving day after day that he's ready. This isn't just about Cleveland's quarterback depth chart anymore. This is about control. Who really runs this team? The coaches? Or the owner who wants Shedeur on that field from day one? And honestly, the more I watch this unfold, the more inevitable it feels. We're not just talking about a rookie quarterback. We're watching the birth of a storyline that could define this franchise for years to come. Shedeur Sanders is stepping into the spotlight whether Kevin Stefanski likes it or not. So let me throw it to you. Do you think Shedeur's taking over this year? Is this his team now? Or do you think the coaching staff will keep fighting to slow things down? Because one thing's for sure, the Shedeur Sanders era in Cleveland has already begun. This offseason has been one of the strangest, most unpredictable roller coasters I've seen in a long time. At first, it looked like the same old chatter you always hear. Competition, hype, camp battles. But then the hammer dropped. Just a few days ago, the Browns made it official. Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Really? Joe Flacco? After everything? And trust me, I felt that same jolt when I saw the announcement. But this isn't just about penciling in a veteran name. No, what makes this move fascinating is the why behind it. The chain reaction it sets off for every other quarterback in the room and for the entire future of this franchise. See, the Browns had been hyping up this four-man quarterback competition. We all heard it. Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. Sounds exciting, right? Sounds like the kind of battle that gets fans fired up, thinking maybe, just maybe, we'll see a new face rise up and shock the league. But if you were really paying attention, you could see through the smoke. That competition, it wasn't real. Not in the way they were selling it. Because let's be honest, Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel were never truly in the running to start Week 1. That hype was just noise, a distraction to keep the storyline spicy. The real battle was always Flacco versus Pickett, and when Pickett's injury concerns started piling up, the Browns went with the safe bet. The veteran who's been to the mountaintop, who's stood in the fire, who knows how to calm the chaos when it all starts collapsing. That's Joe Flacco. But here's where it gets messy. This decision doesn't just end with Flacco starting. It ripples outward, especially when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. And I've got to say, this is the part that really tugs at me, because Sanders showed flashes, real flashes, of star potential in preseason. Against Carolina, he looked poised, confident, like he belonged out there. He reminded me of a diamond that's still rough but shining through anyway. And yet, he's being pushed aside. Not cut yet, not traded yet, but you can feel the writing on the wall. Fans are already asking, are the Browns going to ship him off for a draft pick? Is he just another asset to flip instead of the future of this team? And that's where things get dangerous. Because if you look back at NFL history, we've seen this movie before. Remember the Ravens in 2018? They stuck with Flacco, passed on, giving the keys to Lamar Jackson right away. And we all know how that story ended. Jackson turned into an MVP, the Ravens became contenders, and Baltimore fans still debate whether their team waited too long to unleash him. Now, am I saying Shedeur Sanders is Lamar Jackson? No. They're completely different quarterbacks with completely different skill sets, but the narrative, the vibe, it feels eerily similar. A veteran holding the spot while the young, electric talent sits on the sidelines, waiting for a chance. That might never come in Cleveland, and let's not ignore the math. You can't keep 4 quarterbacks on a 53-man roster without sacrificing at other positions. Somebody's got to go. Is it Sanders? Is it Gabriel? Do the Browns dare to gamble by holding both rookies and cutting elsewhere? These are the kind of decisions that don't just affect depth charts. They affect locker room chemistry, draft strategies, and ultimately whether this team can survive in the AFC North gauntlet. And man, that gauntlet is brutal. You've got Lamar and the Ravens looking to return to MVP form. You've got Burrow and the Bengals who can light up the scoreboard on any given Sunday. You've got the Steelers, always physical, always ready to ruin your season. In a division this competitive, the Browns can't afford to stumble at quarterback. One bad decision here could cost them not just games, but a playoff run. That's why this Sanders storyline is so electric, because it's not just about who starts week 1. It's about the future. Do the Browns keep him and develop him slowly, grooming him to eventually take over? Or do they trade him while the stock is hot, cashing in on a rookie who looks like he has more to give? I'll tell you this. If Cleveland gives up on Shedeur too early and he goes somewhere else and shines, that's the kind of move that haunts a franchise for decades. We've seen it happen. We've lived it before. And, Browns fans, I don't know if this city can stomach watching another quarterback slip through our hands. So here we are. Flacco's the guy for now. Pickett's in the mix if he can stay healthy. Gabriel's hanging on. And Sanders? Sanders is the wild card. The one name that could either become the Browns' future or the one that got away. And that, right there, is what makes this offseason one of the most fascinating in Browns history. Because this isn't just roster management. This is about identity. This is about vision. This is about whether Cleveland is truly ready to build for the future or whether we'll cling to the past one more time and risk paying for it later. So I'll leave you with this. Browns fans, what do you think? Should Shedeur Sanders stay and be developed into the franchise quarterback we've been waiting on for decades? Or should Cleveland move on now, get value while they can, and double down on Flacco and Pickett? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear every side of this. The season's almost here, the storylines are only heating up, and trust me, this is one ride you won't want to miss.